Hello everyone and welcome to the Redmen TV. It's time for the team news reaction show. I'm Ste and Errol and we're going to talk the 11 that Jurgen Klopp has picked to face Porto and also the big substitute bench that we get in the Champions League. Overall, first for us, before we go through player by player, it's a stronger team than maybe I expected and I'm uneasy about it. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll talk through it. I'll have a chat with Errol as well in a second and see if he can reassure me, but it's a very strong Liverpool side for a game that is ultimately Liverpool don't have to win. Obviously, I get the financial issues and I get all the arguments, but it is a meaningless game in some regards. But anyway, I was convinced Kelleher was going to be in goal, but no, the gaffer's gone with Adrian. Shimikas plays again at left back. We're not sure 100% about Robertson's fitness levels, although he is on the bench, and we'll touch upon that in a minute. Centre half, Konate. I think we all expected Konate to play. Matip, I'm surprised Matip's playing, I'll be honest, but he's in there as well. I thought it might have been Nat Phillips. And Neco Williams, I think we all pretty much assumed that was going to be fit. If he was going to be fit, would take his place at right back, and I'm quite happy with that one. Give Trent a well-earned rest. Centre midfield, then I'll go this way first. Tyler Morton in that number 6 role again. I think we all pretty much expected that he was going to be on it. I think I mentioned in our previous shows earlier on the Redmen TV this week that he was the first name pretty much on the team sheet, was Tyler Morton, and it turns out that is exactly what has gone on. He is joined in midfield by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, gets another game. Ox is playing tons and tons of football. He was absolutely brilliant against Arsenal, so therefore, why not pick him again today? It makes sense there again. We don't completely know the fitness levels of all the other players, so it's good that Ox is in. He's joined another start for Thiago Alcantara, another chance for him to get more minutes in his legs as well. Again, I'm slightly surprised by that one just because we've been bitten by the injury bug before with Thiago. Fingers crossed he manages to get through this one. But yeah, to be fair, with all the midfield issues we've had, someone had to play, so I guess Thiago makes sense. I'm staggered that both Mane and Salah are in the 11, I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be one of them with Minamino, and then Divock I thought was guaranteed to start this one, but again, I understand Divock was ill at the weekend, so maybe it was a fitness issue as well. But Mane and Salah both start, and again, this is my guess, I'm guessing it's Taki Minamino up front, but again, they are very interchangeable. It wouldn't be a huge shock if Sadio's up front. I wouldn't even be that shocked if he says to Mo Salah, just go and stand up front and maybe save some things in his legs as well. For now, I've gone with Taki up front, but again, we'll see how that goes as the game starts. It isn't as youthful a Liverpool bench as I thought it would be. I think we got some idea of this earlier when the under-19s played. The likes of Beck and Bradley, what we're playing for the under-19s against Porto under-19s, which kind of gave us a bit of a clue that maybe there weren't going to be as many young lads involved on the bench, and in fact there's not pretty much none. It's a very experienced Liverpool bench, so if we are going to be taking 5 of these guys off, which I imagine Jurgen will be keen to do, it is pretty much going to be 5 senior players who come on. We've got Kelleher and Adrian obviously on the bench, 2 goalkeepers there. We've got Fabinho, Virgil, James Milner. Lovely to see James Milner back. I hope James Milner gets some minutes. He needs them after his injury. It seems like the perfect opportunity to give James Milner maybe a half, 45 minutes, half an hour, who knows, if he's got that in him. Jordan Henderson is on the bench again. We saw him briefly at the weekend. It's nice to see that he's having a bit more of a rest. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if at some point Jurgen tries to give Jordan a few more minutes on the pitch. Then we've got Jota, Andy Robertson again, another one. Good to see Andy Robertson back on the bench. Divock Origi, we mentioned, was ill for the weekend. Surprised he didn't start, I'll be honest, but I'll be shocked if he doesn't come on at some point. I cannot see either Sadio or Mo playing 90 minutes. Who knows, but I'm guessing Divock is on there at some point. We've also got Nat Phillips and Trent Alexander-Arnold on the bench as well. So like I say, it's a very strong team, a very strong bench. Hardly any youngsters. It is pretty much Tyler Morton, the only youngster. I'm not sure what we class Neco Williams as. I'm guessing we don't count him as a young player anymore, really. He's effectively Liverpool's backup right back. But Errol, you're looking there at the YouTube comments and YouTube chat. What are the fans thinking about Jurgen Klopp's 11 there, mate?
Yeah, so Jersey Boy says he starts off with strong-ish lineup, to be fair, and I think, yeah, he's in agreement with you there, Steve. That's clear on the draw of that Klopp has gone stronger. We've got Sabin that says, I don't even care about the result. Yeah, I think we've all kind of got that feeling as well. It is a bit of a dead rubber, but obviously I think there have been some indications that there is financial rewards to be made, and Footy Navigator actually makes that point. He states that financial reasons, my friend, every win in the Champions League brings millions of dollars which can be used to buy players in January, but knowing Liverpool as well as we do, we probably won't buy any. So the money will be there in somebody's coffers, but it might not be going on a transfer budget. Sir KLOPP says, surprised there are no youngsters on the bench. That bench is so much stronger than the one against Arsenal, yet there's more slots to fill. We've also got the offensive defender. Hope he can come out of this match without any injuries. Yeah, that's something that I think all Liverpool fans will be feeling if we can just get through this 90 minutes and do it quite comfortably without getting any injuries or any knocks to any players. We'll all take it and be quite happy at the end of the night.
Yeah, again, I'm a bit shocked by, again, the strength of the 11. A little bit. I thought we'd have seen a couple more youngsters. I'm very shocked by the strength of the bench.
Yeah.
I thought you might, because knowing that Jürgen has got the opportunity to bring players on, there's no kids on. It's a very experienced bench. It shows Liverpool's strength in depth, by the way. It's a very, very, very strong bench. Do you think that this game against Porto under 19s today, given again it's another competitive game in a competition that Liverpool would like to do well in the under 19 version of this cup, it looks like Jürgen, I don't know, or someone's decided maybe it was better for the lads to play in that one, like the likes of Conor Bradley and Owen Beck, for example, have played in there. Do you think that has beared any bearing on this selection whatsoever?
Well, in the back of my mind, I'm slightly thinking, what is I know it'd be nice for us to see them as fans, but what is the benefit of trying to blend a team with purely youth sprinkled in with the likes of Kanata, who we know is going to be a recognised first teamer with a Timmercast? They're used to having more stable resources in and around them.
Yeah.
So that adds a lot of pressure onto them to deliver when they're kind of ushering and shepherding. You'd almost expect that a James Milner then has to start if that's going to happen, so they've got that experience further up the pitch. So I don't think you could just basically have the second string team added in, we complemented with youth players and expect that we're going to be able to go out and play the same style in which we do, given the fact that obviously Porto is still a very experienced team within Europe and they've still got a lot to play for, so they're going to bring an intensity because they want something out the game. We're probably best equipped by having too much for them, so we can just take the game away from them, and then we can at least manage the bench and get people minutes who need to get those minutes back in their legs.
Yeah, I suppose the flip side there is like, should we care if we play like we normally play, or because ultimately again the result, it's not meaningless it's a difficult word to say, meaningless, but yeah, if Liverpool lose, Liverpool finish on top of this group regardless. So yeah. We've seen Jürgen pick weaker teams in the Carling League, the League Cup, which is a competitive game again, granted against a lower level of opposition than FC Porto.
It's the calibre. I think
that's what it is.
I think it's the calibre that you're playing against, and the fact that you know both teams in the cup, it could be a knockout, and you could be playing less or opposition that aren't as to that level ultimately. So you can both kind of risk it, because there's probably both teams with the big boys will always put out and field a slightly weakened team for the early rounds of those competitions, but Porto got it all to play for, so you don't want these young lads to get overwhelmed by these lads that are chomping at the bit to try and get into the group stages themselves. You don't want to leave them shell shocked at the end of it all, do you know what I mean, and think that was a bloody baptism of fire. So it's easier said than done, and obviously Klopp's made the decision to just kind of go strong, use a little bit of muscle, try and take the game away from Porto, and hope we've got the luxury of doing a little bit of rotation where we need to with the 5 subs that he's got at his disposal. Do
you think do you think the fact that there are players on that bench who need minutes but aren't ready to play 90 has played into this? So rather than bring Owen Beck on for 50, it might be more beneficial for Liverpool for the next 3, 4, 5 games if James Milner can get half an hour in his legs, if Henderson can get half an hour in his legs, if Robertson can get half an hour in his legs. You know, maybe not Phillips, because we might need him at some point, maybe get half an hour in his legs. Do you think that could be the thinking as well?
I think that not only is that the thinking, but those lads are going to need those minutes in their legs in a way that they can play within themselves.
Yeah.
There's no point in having them on in the game when we need points in the Premier League on the weekend, and expecting them to play to the level. Whereas tonight, Robbo can come on after 60 minutes, and you don't have to be bombing up and down that wing. You just have to kind of, as you said, get the minutes in your legs, get used to it, let your body feel it in. We'll debrief you afterwards, and we'll see where you're up to, and we can assess you. Same with Henderson. You can come on and reserve something. We're not asking you to bust a gut for the last 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. We're just asking you to be there, be in and around it. Don't go 100% gung-ho. Just play within yourself enough so your body's getting what it needs to get out of the game, but your head doesn't have to be thinking, it all rides on how I perform here in tonight. And I think that's a bit of a luxury for us to be in. And I think for the small experienced players, that's a luxury for them. For the younger lads, they don't get that benefit. They don't benefit from that in terms.
Yeah, like I say, again, in a long term, if you're looking at Liverpool for the next 10 years or something, giving Owen Beck half an hour would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But very, very short term, if James Milner needs half an hour now so that he can have he can start against Southampton if he needs him, then exactly. It makes perfect sense. Let's have a little look then at the FC Porto team. Unsurprisingly, they're very, very strong. Obviously, it's pretty much their best team that he could have selected, give or take a few maybe. But Diogo Costa,
and he was always going to do that.
Oh, they need it. Yeah, it's a free hit almost for Porto because they can lose this and then still go through if they beat Atleti. But Diogo Costa in goal had a nightmare in the first game that we played, but otherwise a very good goalkeeper. João, Mario, they've got Mbemba, Pepe, who was an injury doubt, is in the team rather. Zaidu, Uribe, Sergio Oliveira, Otavio, Luis Diaz, the man who has been linked to Liverpool in the not too distant past. Taremi and Ivan Nielsen as well. That is the Porto 11. We're guessing that they're going to line up in like a 4-4-2, it looks like, but again, we'll see that as the game goes. In terms of danger men for them, Luis Diaz, again, we didn't really see it in the first leg because, well, we battered them and they were rubbish and the goalie threw a few in, but I still thought there was moments where Luis Diaz looked really, really special. Like, if he is linked with Liverpool and he's a Liverpool target, and over on the Redmen Plus, yesterday it went out, I spoke to a journalist from Portugal, well, a Portuguese-based journalist, and he mentioned, like, Luis Diaz is definitely on the radar of a lot of European clubs. It could be a nice chance to have a little look at him because you never know, he could be playing for us or in the Premier League at some time because he looks like their standout player.
Yeah, and again, it's a nice opportunity to see what he can do against a good squad. There'd be no point bringing out our kids and him being able to look like he's a worldie and we think, oh yeah, that's definitely one for us in the future, but you've just played against our second string 11 and the kids. You know, if you're going to, the same way Taki, when we kind of touted him, he played against our strongest side and he ran circles around a couple of the defenders and the midfielders were run ragged and everybody walked off the pitch thinking, there's something about that kid there, do you know what I mean? Like, he's one for the future, and then obviously look what happened to him. So it's not impossible to say that could happen, but the fact that we're putting him up against real opposition as well shows we'll find out where his level is, hopefully, if he gets a good performance in tonight.
I mentioned this when I speak on the podcast with Ross and JP, and I said, like, my worry for this game, if Liverpool, the players, now that they're on the pitch, they have to be 100% focused, because if you're 95% and you don't go fully committed into a challenge, or, you know, you play it safe, playing it safe is fine in terms of you're not over-exerting, but, like, you can't be protecting yourself because Porto aren't. Porto needs, well, they don't need some from this game, but if they come and beat Liverpool and Atletico lose against Milan, which isn't beyond the realms, Porto are through. Yeah. It's a big, you know, Porto are playing for, it's a big game for them. They, you know, qualification is nowhere near assured for them. If anything, I imagine Atletico are probably bookies' favourites to get through this group at the moment in time, given they play AC and then they play Porto. That was my only concern of this one, like, or Porto, you know, leaving your foot in, strong tackles, Pepe, you know, Pepe's like, for example. Yeah. That was my only worry. But you can't really worry with what ifs.
You can't, do you know what I mean? We could do that all day in every situation for every game. And I think the fact that, you know, that midfield, the likes of Ox now, he's hit a bit of a run of form. It would just be stupid to, like, take him out of that, let him be cold, and then expect him to still have that same level of momentum when we're coming into Southampton at the weekend. So get more minutes in your legs. We might only need you for an hour on Saturday because, as you mentioned before, James Milner and Henderson have an hour, an extra 30 minutes in their legs, and they can do the other half an hour or whatever it might be. So game management in terms of how we manage the players and the minutes from probably this point onwards until the New Year period is crucial for Klopp. Yeah. He's got to get it right. It definitely starts tonight. And as I say, there are a few players that definitely need to play themselves into form, or now that they are in form, continue that vein of form. And the likes of, for me personally, I'm quite excited to see the likes of, like, Taki getting a chance alongside Mane and Salah, because I know we were talking before off camera when Tom was basically saying it's not always fair to throw them in when there's a weaker squad and expect them to perform, because they're not playing with the lads that usually play with the same level of standard or the same attitude or application and are able to get the same output. Where if he's around the ballers in our team that we know we've got, he has every opportunity then available to him to get a good game. You see now the impact he was able to make after about 90 seconds the other day because the other two were on the pitch around him at the same time. So if he's got 90 minutes with them, I'm probably going to need him in rotation with Jota a lot more in the next couple of weeks. and then after that period, he's going to be predominantly used when the lads go to the AFCON.
Yeah.
It's massive that he starts getting the minutes under his legs as well.
Absolutely. And let's go through some individual players then. Neco Williams, he's had a very, very good time of it on international duty. Yeah. He should be full of confidence going into this game, right? So he gets a start. I think we're all happy to see that one.
Yeah.
Again, we saw Kostas Tsimikas come in a couple of games when Andy Robertson either wasn't available. Well, he went, at the beginning of the season he was injured, and then he's been in and out the side. I think it is vitally important that Neco, he's never going to be Trent, and that's not fair to hold him to that standard, but I think it'd be great for him to show, listen, I am an option. Yeah. Last time, again, there were fitness issues about it, but James Milner played right back and Neco at one point was on the bench, and then there was a game when they were both on the bench and Milner comes on for Trent, I think, rather than Neco did. I think it'd be really, really nice for Neco Williams just to put, you know what, I get that I'm second choice, but if you need me, I'm more than ready.
Yeah, and he's got to now. He's getting up to that age where it's going to be more of a prerogative for him to want to be getting as many opportunities as he possibly can. We know we've probably got the earmarked of the League Cup game coming up. Obviously, there's still one more game in the Champions League, so if he puts in a good performance here tonight, that could be earmarked for him again. So all these little moments now, it's up to him again. We've said that about so many players this season. It's about time that you guys take your opportunities and leave Klopp thinking, okay, I can rely on you as and when I need to in certain situations. Let's be honest, Klopp's changed that back four. There's only one remaining member of that back four from the last game against Arsenal. So when we were talking then about, obviously, would he put the youth in?
That's where he's made his changes.
That's where he's made his changes there in that back four. And I think, you know, you've got Konate in there and you've got Tsimikas in there. We kind of know a little bit more about them, and we're probably a little bit more impressed with how they performed in a red shirt for us this season. But can they gel together as a unit now? Who's going to be the leader of that? Are we going to accept Matip to kind of deputise for what Van Dijk does and be more vocal in that respect and let the others kind of follow his lead? Or is Konate going to say, well, no, this is my game to kind of marshal the defence and see how I get on? So it'll be interesting to see how, as a unit, considering there's so many changes, they all work together and gel.
Yeah, for sure. Next one I want to talk about, Tyler Morton. So Tyler Morton's been at Liverpool since he was 7. Young lad from Wallasey, so just over the water there for us. And he's
an adopted Scouser.
He pretty much is. He turned Everton down to sign for Liverpool at the age of 7. He's come through the ranks now. What a night for again. You say meaningless game, but Tyler Morton and his entire family, it's an amazing night for him. So yeah, 19 years old, only just turned 19 as well. He turned 19 on Halloween. I mean, such a special moment for him. And again, he deserves it. Mm-hmm. Like Jurgen chose to keep Tyler Morton in the team. He could have easily have went and played elsewhere today. There's other kids who've been. He's gone, no, Tyler Morton's my number 6 in a European Champions League game. Must be absolutely delighted, living the dream.
Yeah, and you've got to be made up with that as well, because again, he's another example of Klopp's bedding him in around experienced players in that midfield engine room. So you're going to be alongside Thiago and you're going to be alongside Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So they should help support you in your role. They will help talk you through the game as you need to go. If it would have been more, and a couple of the other young lads in that midfield, they might have all been like, oh, this is an amazing opportunity. But they might have all been a little bit out of their depth as a unit. So I think Klopp, from the outside, he looks like he's got the blend just right in terms of, obviously, the forward needs to be a little bit changed up and we need to get some minutes in your legs. Yeah. We needed a different option in the 6. Tyler Morton's my guy to do it, and I'm made up that he's getting the opportunity. And then likewise, he's made his big changes in defence. So from the outset, it looks as if he's got that blend right for me.
Next one forward then. Let's talk Taki Minamino. We think, again, we're guessing at the moment because who knows who's going to be up front. But as a standout, over on the board, I had Taki up front. It wouldn't be a huge shock if Jurgen did try and save the legs of Sadio or Mo by saying, have a little go up front and save your legs a little bit. But for now, we're going to go with him. Regardless of where he is, I think you were amazingly right to reference before. He's a key player in January regardless. So when Mane and Salah aren't there, Taki is getting meaningful minutes against Liverpool, for Liverpool in big games. It's about, hopefully he should be full of confidence. He scored a goal after 40 seconds or something being on the pitch the other day. I would love for us to get to a point where Taki's building up the head of steam. Divock Origi did this a few years ago, was never playing, comes in, gets a few goals, builds up head of steam. Before you know it, he's coming on in the Champions League fan.
And you can rely on him.
And you know what you're going to get. It's a great chance for Taki to go. And he should play 90 minutes there. Be amazed if he doesn't. Here's what I can do, guys. You might not keep playing me, and I get it because there's Jota and there's Bobby, but don't forget about me. I'm here.
Yeah. No, and you couldn't be more right with that, mate, because I think he's had enough time now with this squad to start to make an impact. And I think he has, given the opportunities he's had so far this season. They've not been, in abundance, but when he's had the chance, he's come on, he's delivered, he's scored goals, he might have got an assist there, or he's been integral to the goals that he's contributed to them anyway. And I just think if you can now start to, again, against seasoned opposition, you're going to be up against the likes of Pepe. If you're up top, do you know what I mean? He's going to rough you up. If you can start now getting the better of some of these more seasoned oppositions, we have more confidence. Klopp will have more confidence that if I need to drop you in a big Prem game, you'll deliver something for me. You'll come up with the goods.
At the moment, we always think about the battles for starting positions, and for me, I think Mane and Salah are always nailed on. They're probably going to play. There's always a Bobby Jota battle, but behind
that's a good thing, though.
No, it's amazing. But behind the Bobby Jota battle is the Minamino Origi battle. For me at the moment, I still think Origi's ahead in that battle. If everyone was fit, I think that personally. Who knows how Jürgen thinks? We don't even know if Origi is fit or not. But I know he's on the bench. He was ill. That's something for Taki to go. You know what? I've said we're one injury away basically at the moment because Bobby's out for a while. One injury away from me or him playing. Here's my chance to go and make that me. That must drive him on a little bit as well, because I think we saw how much the goal meant to him the other day. He really celebrated it, and rightly so. Yeah, that's something there. Within a squad, there's always those battles for positions, and Origi versus Minamino is a tangible one. It does exist, and like I say, we keep saying meaningless, and I've said it a few times, but for attacking Minamino, it's not. It's my chance to go. If I score a hat-trick tonight, I should be above Divock in the rankings come Sunday or come next week.
Yeah, and I'd love him to score a hat-trick tonight. I'd be absolutely buzzing for him if he did, and they're the kind of things that he should be aspiring to at the end of the day from now. It's like, when my chances come up, I need to start just taking them and bagging them. And from my perspective, from the outside looking in, we know when we've watched them with the League Cup squad that have went out, the lads complimenting him probably haven't been full strength, but he's not going to get a better opportunity or a better audition to play alongside the tried and tested wingers that we use, and they are going to provide service. Yep. They've been setting each other up lovely so far all season. The likes of Thiago will still try and set you up from midfield. The Ox will make those runs in as well and contribute in that respect. So there's enough pieces in that jigsaw for you to be so supported, so you can just focus on your element of the game rather than trying to overcook things and do more than what you really need to do and be drawn out of position too often. So from that perspective, you're looking at it and you're thinking, you're not going to get another 90 minutes with this much talent around you to prove what you can do. And given how many times and how well our lads have performed predominantly against Porto, history would dictate that if they continue in that sort of form,
there should be chances.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What do you make then? Alisson Becker, by the way, is announced as Liverpool's captain for this game. There's a few options there as well. But again, the Echo and a few other reporters there are saying as well, Alisson is the skipper for this game.
One of the lads in the comments said that doesn't look good for Mo's captain chances in the future. I didn't really think about it like that until I read it. It's an interesting shout. But
again, who knows how he's decided?
How he's picked it for the night.
What I would say is that obviously Mo's been here longer than Alisson, so maybe who knows how that is being. I remember Mo got a bit of a cob on. Was it in Midtjylland, I think, when Trent captained there? So who knows how that's going to go down? But
he might get the next one. The last game
in Milan, we're going to spread it out, but it's a nice reward for Alisson Becker for all his performances and what he's been through as well.
And I know Mo contributed so much last season to getting us to where we got to in the end, but from every Liverpool fan's perspective, we don't get the Champions League this season without Alisson Tedder. Without Alisson Tedder, we're sat there probably in the Europa League waiting till tomorrow. You're not seeing us sitting watching us tonight now. Do you know what I mean? So I think you're right there when you say the little rewards there, and again the little incentives to be like, do you know what? It might be a meaningless game, but the night that I'm captain, it means something to me. I want a clean sheet.
Yeah, and to be fair, Simon in the group chat, in the live chat there, does say, Liverpool did announce the leadership group a few weeks ago. They did, to be fair. And Alisson was in it. You're right to reference that. Simon, fair play there, mate. Right, Errol, we've got roughly about 50 minutes before the match starts. But what I want to say before, guys, we go, just a little preview of what we've got coming up over the night. Then, so obviously, this was the Team News reaction show. Later on, obviously, kick-off is at 8 at 7:45. Me and Errol will be back for the live watch-along for the game. Please do come and join us. We'll have lots of fun. We're always in the chat reading out your comments and, trying to do stupid things like eating cakes and stuff. And Errol's got a special treat on the go. So if you tune in, you'll go and see what Errol's brought in. I brought the cake last time. Errol's got his own little snack as well. After that, obviously, we will have the play ratings and we'll have your fan reactions as well, 2 of our favourite shows. And then after that will be our instant match reaction. That won't be on YouTube. The instant match reaction will be over on our streaming service, Redmen Plus. Just want to talk to you guys and take this moment to talk to you guys about Redmen Plus. Like you know, we've been running a offer all month for a free month of Redmen Plus. Well, that is about to come to an end. It comes to an end at the end of November, so just over a week away. If you are interested and want to go and check out everything on Redmen Plus, just to let you know that between now and pretty much Christmas, we've got over 50, we've worked out there's like 55 of our regular shows will be out between now and then. We've got tons. They are available in video form. And like I say, no one's going to be able to sit and watch 50 shows, but you can listen to every single one of them as a podcast as well on your native podcast apps.
My mum will sit there and watch all 50 odd shows. I'm telling you.
Amazing. But if you haven't,
she will find the time.
If you haven't, then you can obviously listen to every, on your commute. If it's an hour commute, you've got an hour there and back to listen to something as well. There's big games. Obviously, the derbies in there. We've got the AC Milan game. We've got Spurs. We've got the League Cup quarter final against Leicester, and tons more as well. So in terms of what you get on there, obviously the instant match reaction for every one of those games. We've got the debate show, we've got the final where we've got absolutely tons and tons. Obviously our match day experience videos as well from Anfield. The one that Paul had the other day from the Arsenal game.
Quality. Zoomed
right in on the Mikel Arteta fight and stuff like that. It was really, really good. So like I say, there's tons coming up. In terms of special features, we had access to go and explore around a derelict Melwood and just film over there. It was pretty cool. That's coming out very, very soon as well. And then streaming on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we've got a 2-part special. Liverpool's top 50 Premier League players of all time, as voted for by you guys. So we did put the vote out to our Redmen TV followers on Twitter, on our socials. They all voted for their players. We're going to count down from 50 to 1 who you guys all voted for. So like I say,
so if you top of the tree at Christmas.
Yes, let's go and see who you think is Liverpool's greatest Premier League players. I think most people can guess who number 1 and 2 are, but 1 to 10 I think are really, really, really good as well. So obviously, if you want to get involved, you've got less than a week to get involved. Head over to theredmentv.com. Sign up on a Club Captain monthly subscription. Enter the code Redmen Plus, all in capital letters, and it will be completely free for that first month. You won't pay a penny. Not only will you go through all those mad shows that I've just talked about, there's absolutely tons of them if you think of the value you're getting there. You'll also have access to everything that's on the platform already. So all the shows from this season are on there. You've got the Hendo 10 documentary. We've got In Conversation with series, including the conversations with the likes of Peter Moore's on there. Chelsea Grimes is on there. We've had cricketers. We've had gold medal. We've had Olympic medalists. We've had absolutely tons of people. So do go and check it out. In the meantime then, me and Ella are going to go for a quick drink, a quick break, and we'll be back in about 30 minutes time with the watch along. So until then, we'll see us all soon. Ta-da.
Everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you want more from us, then please do consider joining Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service, with extra shows, bonus features, interviews, and incredible documentaries like Netflix for Liverpool fans. We've got the Club Captain and the Club Legends here. If you join as a Club Legend, you get your name in this wonderful list here. Look at them wonderful legends. Anyway, Redmen Plus on the redmentv.com. Join up.